Hey sweeties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here because I've really wanted to talk about some really exciting news that has been brought all across like Twitter and in a few videos as well across everywhere about potential news in Royale High. Now remember, this isn't really confirmed news, but it's always really rumored, and considering I do honestly, even with all the trolls of people pretending that there's an update coming out on Twitter all the time and then I'm falling for it, surprisingly, yes, I do somehow trust the Royale High community. So today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the news, so let's get into it. So if you guys obviously are not always aware, sometimes Royale High will, like the devs, they'll be posting some things on Twitter all the time, and this always gets us to be able to have like a little bit of conversation, a little bit of murmurs about what could be coming. But also with that, then when they do release the update, they end up making sense. Typically, they never end up posting anything that is trickery or anything fake. So anything that you do see any of the devs posting, it is normally related to something to do with one of the updates that are upcoming or a future part of one of the future campuses. One of the most active ones that I'm aware of is Vionchi. Vionchi ends up posting quite a lot and actually ended up posting a very cool picture. The picture actually ended up sparking a lot of discussion because people started to notice some other things. Here is the picture. This picture shows part of the flight class, but then people started recognizing it from this picture, and it kind of looked super interesting in point of potentially relating to this little code that people said. I saw tons of people mentioning things about Royale High having its own language, and I thought that was really cool. But then when they said that, it then ended up making me look into this a little bit more, and then people actually cracked a code. Apparently, this translation in our textbooks actually translates to Divinia. Now, I'm not entirely sure myself if they mean that Divinia is coming back again or something like that. If we're going to get the OG Divinia, the one that you got when you first ever came in. Because Divinia, as we know it as a fountain. But I know it, and most of us who were OG players, we know it as something a little bit different. That Divinia itself is really exciting, but then it does make people start thinking as well. Why does it say that it's related to mermaids, and what does this have to do with Royale High? In my opinion, I would definitely say that it probably has something to do with the fact that we're going to be finally getting some mermaid tales. Now shut up everyone, because seriously, that is the most exciting news we've ever had come. I have been wanting to see Mermaid Tales come back for Royale High in so long. I've wanted to be able to do role plays, I've wanted to do videos, I've wanted to talk about them and try and get the very best one. If we look now... Oh gosh, okay, anyways, if we look now, we can see that I've got Mermaid Tales. So this is kind of proof that I have been in Royale High for quite some time. I got some really bad ones, unfortunately, but if you guys see, when you put them on, yeah, it gets rid of this, but this is how they originally looked. They had water spewing from them, and the problem that loads of us, once we wanted to use them, and the reason nobody does, is because your feet don't even stay in it anymore. Typically, if you were... We could go outside, actually. Let me go and show you guys how it is when you're swimming with them. Okay, here's some water. Now let's go and put it to the test. Once you end up going in the water, typically you can see that the mermaid tail, it is like, you know, moving. It is doing what you need to, but the feet are coming out, and so then it doesn't work. And then obviously sometimes people would swim underneath the water while flying, but then again the same problem arises. It's the feet that are sticking out. So if you're ever wondering why people who have these tails are never using them and how it kind of takes away the magic, you're not wrong. It doesn't work, and it's so unfortunate. But a very long time ago, I ended up doing a video talking about what people wanted to see in Royale High. And in that short, I ended up showing some kind of, I guess, examples of potential tales that people would really like to see. Now, again, we have no idea if Royale High are going to add many of them or they're going to just redesign what we've already got. But judging from the way these tales look compared to from where it looks in the book, you can kind of see a little bit of a difference. And honestly, I'm really excited for that. Here are some pictures of things that I found online that I thought was really cool to share with you, just to kind of keep the buzz up about this, because genuinely, I don't want us to forget the tales could be coming, or well, in my opinion, should be coming back to Royale High. Now here we can see some of the remade legacy tales. Now these are just people who created them online, but honestly they look amazing. I would love to see tales like this, a little bit more originality and kind of make you feel like you're actually getting something that looks a little bit more kind of what the elements are. Honestly, people have even named them, they've called them Pond Elegance Sapphire, and then Cotton Candy Coral, and then Popular. And then honestly, I think these are gorgeous, all of them. Like, if we just see all of these tails, I mean, look at this. It reminds you of the fire element, nature. And then this one with the dark. And then this one would be probably, I'm not entirely sure about this one, but it looks really cool. And imagine a neon tail, or these ones. This one having some sort of like glamorous end to the tail, making them a little bit like more awesome, and that having rankings and things. I would absolutely love that. And I think many of you guys would too. To be honest, this discussion is kind of brought up simply because people want to know if maybe we'd get refunded for these tails, as well as also, you know, maybe if they would actually kind of release something to do with outfits and things, because we have had set releases, but we haven't had anything like really magical and really beautiful relating to the whole thing that Royale High is now venturing towards, which is the magic. I mean, we've got all of these things related to the elements and the whole story, and then all of the badges and things, but we still want to have a little bit more, such as even having some magical classes and things. But something that I just know besides all of that, I mean, there's so many things we all want to see, but just talking about the tails alone, I think it would be really cool. I mean, haven't had any news about any refunds for tails, and that is what they did do with a lot of legacy wings for people who bought them, and then when they took them away, things like that. So when they do that, you know, typically they refund you, but they didn't this time. I mean, they did with the sets they took away. If they took away the tails, then they would, but they also didn't even get rid of the icon. I mean, like, that's what I mean. When you go on dress up, and if you've already got the tail, they do have this. They've never upgraded this or changed it. I mean, they've done this, so they could have had time to change it around, but I'm guessing it's because they're not ready to part with the tails just yet like we are. Honestly, I would absolutely love it. And honestly, the whole conspiracy about Divinia coming back and like tails and everything, having some sort of more magical kind of experience. Perhaps there's some sort of thing we've got to do with the class to get it. I'm not entirely sure. But if tails are coming back, then I'm going to be the first one there to get them, because I have been waiting and waiting. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. But like I said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.